Okay guys, what's up? So Aquatic Bobs, here we are. You saw in the last video, I'm kind of losing track. I've been making side videos and mixing them up and everything, but you saw in one of the recent videos that we set up the Frag tank. And yeah, so we've been having a lot of fun. We got the Trident and we got the Apex, all the probes and everything, and also the dosing pump. And it's kind of been a lot of work, very confusing at times, just being honest. I know some people don't struggle with it at all. It has been a little confusing in moments where it's been difficult. You're just wondering, did the calibration really work? Because some of the numbers seem far off. The salinity probe definitely is not accurate. That's one thing. But now this is just repriming, and it always makes this like annoying beeping sound. But that's how you know it's like testing and doing something. It's just repriming the lines right now, I guess. It seems kind of ridiculous, but it takes that long. But it is what it is. The sensor is down under the water here, and I suppose I can tighten that up a little bit. But anyways, just kind of going to go through quick. The Philia is looking great. Some of these A-cans are starting to get some pretty wild colors. Not sure. Yeah, this one doesn't look that great on the camera, but they're doing pretty well. Lots of colors here. Sorry, the glass is really messed up. But yeah, some really pretty acans here, and zoanthids, bright zoanthids. Wish you could see these ones a little bit better. They're the Jurassic Park zoas. They're small, but they're cool. They got a really cool design on them. And some cool bower bankies and stuff. Nice leather. A couple of nice acros. The fluorescence on them is so bright. Just wait till the second part of this video. I'm going to show you some of the corals in my tank. And again, just in a few days, it's just amazing. Just blows my mind how much they've changed in a couple days, when everything in this hobby has taken so long and I've waited so long. How elevating nutrients and trying to keep it stable has actually dramatically changed the color of 90% of the corals in my tank. So I actually mounted a few of these. That's the Walt Disney. I just put some super glue on it and stuck it down. It kept getting buried in a crack back there. But nice Duncan, Carolina Reaper, acro, a couple nice zoanthids from Worldwide Corals, some mushrooms, green star polyps, Montipora, chalice. I believe that's a Blasto, Iron Man Blasto. But yeah, so alright, let's get to the Frag tank, and then I gotta shut the power head off. And then we're going to go back down home to my tank, and I'm just going to pause even the return pump for a second. So on the right hand side, we're running the AI Hydra 52, a little bit older light, and the Aqua Star or something, $100 light off eBay, fully programmable, ramps up, ramps down, can change the individual channels. It's pretty cool. Looks a lot more purple on the phone here than it does in real life. It's kind of weird, but everything under it is looking great. Look at this hammer. It's got like a ring. I don't even know what to call this hammer. It's kind of got like an orangish yellow center with a kind of a purple skirt on the outer parts of it. You can see three clear distinguished heads there. Look at this Eclectus mushroom. You see one on the bottom, one on the top left, one on the right, and there's another one buried on the back. Oh, it's just beautiful. This light really is very cool for what it is. And I just moved some of these over. They're still working on opening up a little bit. A couple more zoanthids, an acan colony for my tank down at my house that was struggling. A lobo, a couple trachees here. A little chalice area. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. And these are the Ghanies, Sugar Daddy Ghani. They're both the same strand. It's just one was getting more light than the other one. I fragged a bunch up in my tank at home. Actually going to be selling some of these coming up within the next week or two. I just fragged them a couple days ago. They're already looking really good. Then the euphyllias in this tank are just happy. They're just awesome looking and very cool. Love this frag tank so far. Just love it. Here's our clam. You know, as we're talking about them. Clams always have that clammy sense to them. Very pretty. Couple of Montes. One got damaged, got too close to coral in my tank at home. You can see the backside of the Midori Sunrise. I believe it's Midori Sunrise. Couple of birds' nests. 2-in-1 coral there. And then here's some of the acros. So some of these were damaged a little bit. Found some of them hidden in the back of the tank here. I think I rescued them. Should be doing good now. But, yeah. Oh, wow. This guy just blew right over. We'll have to put him a little... There we go. But, yeah, so everything's looking great. Little Walt Disney frag. Just love it. Really very beautiful corals. Can't remember what this one is, but really neat piece. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys shortly back at my house. Oh yeah, one more little snit bit. Here's a Montipora. Here's a Monty. I can't remember what it is, but it got covered in sand from the big tang in this tank who stirs up all the sand everywhere and lost all its color. So I just moved these guys over here too. They're working on reopening, but yeah, it's just cool. Everything, even despite some of the hardships, these corals are fighters. They're pulling through, and I'm just glad I've been coming up here more often to check on everything and be able to kind of save some things as they need it. So hopefully we're eliminating some of those issues, and things will be a little bit better for them moving forward. So see you in a second. Okay guys, we're back home. So one thing I noticed, I was kind of messing around with my camera a little bit, is look how bright that is. Now, like, the tips are bright. I do have quite a bit of light. These guys are maybe hitting about 300 par. The Walt Disney and the oh my gosh, not the Home Wrecker, Haymaker. I always forget the name of that one. But the tips are so bright, and as I was closely examining it, I was thinking, why are they so bright like that? And the reason is because my eyes looking at it, it's the fluorescence of the coral is almost blinding in real life, like to my actual eye. The coral pigments are so fluoresced, I don't know if that's a word, that it's like glowing in the tank. It's kind of like a glow in the dark coral. And there's also a ton of new growth. If you see the left side of this coral here, and then the right or the closest right tip, it's radical, it's wild, it's growing out of control. Look at this right up front here, the Carolina Reaper acro. It's growing so fast that it looks like the coral is bleached. It looks like it's RTN or STNing. I've never seen this shade in my Walt Disney before. It's I don't know. when I first got it, it seemed like it was a little bit deeper color. This is just, it's so glowy. It literally is like glowing in my tank. I hope in the video maybe you guys will be able to tell. There's a few people that have come to my house and they always ask about this coral, even if they don't like Acropora or SPS. There's just something about this coral that's always been healthy, the genetics of this particular strain of Walt Disney. But yeah, it's a pretty wild coral. I was sharing with someone who wants to buy a frag of the Top Shelf Aquatics Bubble Yum Acro here. I wish video would do it. Like, I can get pictures that are decent, and this still doesn't look as good as it's going to, but video just doesn't capture as well as it could, especially darker colors. But a guy wants to buy a frag of this from me, and it's right down here. And I was just sharing with him, like, I'm seriously so excited. This is probably the best some of these acros have ever looked in my tank. I've always been really good at keeping LPS, but when it comes to coloring up some of these, higher end Acropora, I've never had just those insane colors that you see on the websites that you're like, that's fake. But I'm seeing the potential in these. Like, I think it's possible. So let's just stay tuned. I'm going to keep the numbers stable. My nitrates are anywhere between 12.5 to 14 pretty much every time I check. Phosphates 0.06 to 0.07. I feel like those numbers are just perfect. Like, I'm just seeing such good results, and daily I'm noticing health in the corals. And so I'm really excited. We're going to stick with it. It's been, I think we're going on just a little over 3 weeks since I started raising nutrients. That gives you kind of a time frame. And since I started raising them, that's when some of this growth has just exploded. This is another Top Shelf Aquatics one. Unfortunately, it grows toward the front of the tank, so a bunch of the front of the coral is shaded. Starts with an A. I can never remember that one, but a couple of Walt Disney frags here. This one just sold today on eBay for an unbelievably low price. Kind of sad, but good deal for him. I've always liked getting some of those nice deals on eBay when no one else is bidding on them. Yeah, so some of these mushrooms keep blowing off and going back here, so I keep pulling them out and sticking them down here. You can see there's a whole bunch of mushrooms in the trap. Look at all the algae growing around that thing. I never cleaned it off. To the right side of the mushroom cage, you can see a jawbreaker, and then just to the right of that, you see a little green dot, about 2 inches to the right. That's an OG bounce. I got 3 more bounces up here that I just cut. Then back here we've got, so I had to actually take a ton of this out of my tank. I took all these rocks out on the right side of my tank to get to the Sugar Daddy Ghani here. If I was smart, I would have taken that one out too and cut another chunk off that. But the only way that I could get my bandsaw through it was to kind of just shave it right down the middle, kind of like a mohawk, but a reverse mohawk. And I wound up getting a ton of little frags, and like you saw at my dad's house, I got those other 2 frags up there. But every single one is healthy. Every single one looks great. It's weird that they have different shades on them. That's because different spots of it were getting different parts of light, and the coral just grows with different colors. But yeah, so kind of got a lot going on here still. Even with moving all those corals up to my dad's, We still got a pretty packed looking tank here, and I like that. I got my fisheye lens on, that's why it's blurry on the sides. But yeah, just a lot of cool little pieces. This Predator I brought home because I'm going to be shipping it out this coming Monday. He hasn't completely opened all the polyps yet. I hope he'll be alright. He's going to Australia. Worldwide Corals. I got this one from Worldwide Corals. It's the Purple Monster, I think. Oh boy. There's a Aptasia. Those pesky things. Top Shelf Aquatics, the Beast. Our favorite little hawkfish who disturbs all the corals on every rack. A weird Montipora growing in the middle of a zoanthid infestation. The back wall green star polyp and the sunburst Monty. Yeah. I think this might be the last rack and we'll have most of it covered. We got 2 racks left actually. If you need to pause it if you want to look for a second. And I've really been working my best, trying my best to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Sometimes it takes a little bit, I'm sorry for that, but you guys understand, you know, sometimes life happens and it's just been busy, but I love busy. I love laying down in bed at night and just almost passing out, not even having a drink, just passing out because I just emptied myself during the day. Here's a haymaker Frag. It's kind of cool. Half of it's got green polyps, the other half is getting like a pinkish polyp on it. This is, I can never remember the name of it. Beautiful is what it is. That's the cherry acro. I can't remember the name of that one exactly either. Here's a Monty that just popped up out of nowhere, one I got a long time ago from Top Shelf Aquatics. Can't remember the name of that one. Some really beautiful zoanthids. Here's our Acanthophilia. Look at that sucker. Boy, that's a piece right there, man. The sparkle pattern on it, ooh. That is a piece. Cold piece. A monster mushroom back there, Redactus. This guy just ain't gonna make it, unfortunately. Maybe he is. Actually, some of that's looking better than it was yesterday. Bower Banky Lane here. Look at the detail of that. Isn't it amazing how far cell phones have come? I'm so glad. I spent all that money on really expensive camera equipment and everything, and I wound up using my cell phone most of the time. Little trachea that fell down there. Some chalice. Nice chalice there. Some acans. And here's the mother colony, that one you saw earlier in the video with the purple rings and the orange centers. Just beautiful. Just crazy beautiful. But yeah, well guys, I think I tried to cover most. Sorry I wasn't able to get a bunch of names out. Like I said though, if you have questions, feel free to ask. And, you know, I'm still waiting for a few things to clear up before I really go big with selling. And I just want to do it right. Like I've commented before, I don't want to sell frags if there's a risk or if there could be a compromise to your systems with them. So I just want to check all the boxes, do it right, and just get good reviews, have good results, build good relationships, have good results, and just appreciate it along the way. So I'm going to take the fisheye lens off. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah. Definitely a lot less blurry around the edges, but yeah, so appreciate you guys as always. Here's a Jesus acro. It's a good way to close it. Thank you, Jesus. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. Aquatic Bob's out!